I'm Regina McCann-Hess, president of Forge Wealth Management, and welcome to our Women in Wealth series. So today we're going to talk about 10 things you should know about a recession. A lot of the analysts have been talking about a potential recession for at least a year now, and they're still talking about potential recession in 2024. So stay tuned. But they also say that the economy is not the stock market. In fact, a lot of stocks have generated positive returns on average during economic contractions. But what's the first thing to know? The first thing to know is what's in a name. What does recession mean? It's actually an extended period of declining economic output, declining wages, declining employment, industrial production, and of course, retail sales. Okay, item number 2, a recession is not the same as a down market. The stock market is based on expectations for the economy in 6 to 12 months. So stocks can move up during a recession or down when the economy is expanding. Now, by contrast, the economic recessions or expansions may not be identified until months after they begin. So we do want to make sure that, sometimes you are in a recession before they actually announce, like, hey, we're in a recession. Third on our list is internal versus external shocks. Now, recessions can be started by imbalances in the economy, such as like a financial crisis. Hello, we've been there before, right? Now, those imbalances usually must stabilize for a recession to end. They can also be started by the economy's reaction to external shocks like pandemic. We've been there. Sadly, we've also experienced war and terrorist attacks. So things that are outside of our control can also throw us into a recession. The fourth thing that you should know about a recession is that the customer is always right. Consumer spending is the largest driver of the U.S. economic growth. So it actually accounts for about 68% of U.S. economic activity. That's crazy, right? So as much as I tell my clients, don't overspend, the rest of the world is taking care of it for us. Not the world, but the country. All right. So the fifth item that you need to know is what goes up must come down. Recessions and expansions are a normal part of the economic cycle, right? You have to go through them. There's actually been 13 recessions since 1945, and they've been averaging about 6 years apart. The sixth thing you need to know. We grow more than we contract. So excluding the Great Depression, U.S. recessions have lasted on average about 10 months. The Great Recession, which was the one that followed the big financial crisis, that one lasted about 18 months, but the expansion that followed it is also the longest on record, which spanned more than 10 years. Contrasted to the pandemic-induced recession in 2020, that recession only lasted 2 months and is the shortest on record. Quite interesting. Okay, seventh thing you need to know about recessions. Connected, but not always in sync. Even in today's interconnected world, individual countries can enter recessions without involving the whole entire global economy. According to the World Bank, there have been about 6 global recessions since 1950, compared to 13 in the United States in the same time frame. Okay, the eighth thing that you need to know about a recession is bad begets good. The Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland found that the worse a recession, the stronger the expansion that followed it. They didn't find a connection between the length of an economic expansion and the severity of the recession that followed it, though. Okay, the ninth thing you need to know about a recession is that not all stocks are created equal. So recessions actually impact various sectors of the economy and the stock market differently. Industries that are considered cyclical are more impacted by the economic contractions other than necessities. So a consumer discretionary, you might think about travel, hotels, airlines, things like that. If things are, if the economy is bad, most people aren't going to travel as much. But they're still going to turn their lights on. They're still going to run their water. So that's where the utilities come in. But those are good examples of contrasts that work, something that will work in a recession and other, obviously your travel stuff is going to kind of dampen a little bit. The 10th thing you need to know about a recession is that stocks can grow when the economy contracts. although down markets sometimes coincide with recessions, stocks actually produce positive returns during 7 of 13 recessions since 1945. So, that is something that you do think about. We all do tend to think, oh, a recession, the market's going to go down, but it doesn't happen every single time. So there's a ray of hope, right? And with that, I want to thank you for joining me. I would think our call to action for this one is, pay attention to what's happening around you. Are you spending less than, in the economy? Is your discretionary spending coming down? Talking to your friends, is their discretionary spending coming down? Are people getting a little bit more, frugal with their spending and keeping cash on hand? That could be, you could be part of the sign that consumers are spending less. So if that's the case, then, what do you have to do to protect yourself during the recession as well? And with that, thank you so much for joining me. Again, I'm Regina McCann-Hess, president of Forge Wealth Management. My website is forgewealth.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Forge Wealth. And in LinkedIn, I am Regina McCann-Hess. Thanks and have a great day.